Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1294th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Traders, good evening. This video coming to you on the Sunday evening for trading Sunday through Monday, March 16th, 2015. Let me just start off with this. The video right before this one absolutely unequivocally was wrong. I was a jerk for telling you to get long. The market went absolutely down. Bad video. Bad. However, it's not all that bad, and I will show you why. So yes, I was absolutely unequivocally horrible on Friday. We called for a buy. It went down, not up. At the same time, I interfered with the trading, which I never do, and got us out for a loss instead of a break even, which we could have easily done had I not interfered, which I almost never do, but even when I do even once, it costs us, and we learn or we reinforce one of our rules, which is plan a trade, then trade the plan without interference. Someone like me, after 33 years, interfered with the trade on Friday, and we could have easily gotten out break even had I not interfered. So not only did I call it wrong, I actually acted like an amateur and made us lose money on a trade that could have broke even. My bad there. My sincere apologies. Head down, nose to the grindstone, on to the next trade is all we can do with that. So I told you guys that in the video prior to this one, video 1293, I basically said, listen, this market dips to my OTAPMA, the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, this purple line. The market dips to OTAPMA and makes a new high. Dips to OTAPMA and makes a new high. So let's just follow it, right? Dips to OTAPMA, makes a new high. Dips to OTAPMA, makes a new high. Comes to OTAPMA, makes a new high. So I showed this to you in my last video. And I said I've shown this to you in every video that we had a major dip. I would bring out this very same chart called Chart Masterpiece. And I would say a dip into OTAPMA usually produces a new high. We shall see. Nothing from Friday has changed at all. We are in the exact same spot. But we do have a very short-term red Omni for starting off Sunday through Monday. But let's go over Friday's analysis. Yes, the market came off a little bit, but not a big deal because, look, no damage done here to the pattern yet. That's one chart. In the very same video I showed you on Thursday night for Trading Friday, I showed you another chart. Let's go look at that one. In this chart, I said it's the emini S&P, the March contract. Usually a dip into my OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, produces nothing more than a short-lived dip. Usually a dip into OTAPMA is short-lived. And watch. Dips down, 1, 2, 3, short-lived. Dips into it once, short-lived. 1, 2, 3, short-lived. 1, 2, 3, 4, short-lived. We dipped into it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why would you call this the top? Why would you say the analysis isn't working? Why would anyone doubt that this is going to work until we actually did something like this, broke under it, and then put a few days in where it stayed under it? Then you would say, all right, this analysis is changing. But until that happens, traders, which hasn't happened yet, why would anyone consider that this analysis is not going to work? Look at it here, look at it here, look at it here, look at it here. And no matter how far back I go, I can show you those very same examples. So it doesn't make a difference how far back we go. It happens the same way. You dip in, you pop out. So if that's the case, this being part of the analysis I showed you in my last video, we are in the same exact spot we were in Friday, except for that on for Sunday night and Monday, we actually have a short-term red Omni. So we're going to have to scarily, very nervously, take a short trade off this formation, and at the same time, you could call this a flag, and I get that, right? Some form of a flag right here. Maybe that's a flag, and this is a flagpole, but so would this one have been. So would this one have been. So would this one have been. And so too would this one have been. And they are flags until they hit OTAPMA, and then after that, you are not sure if they're flags until you break OTAPMA. We haven't broken OTAPMA. I don't know that they're flags yet. So for longer term analysis, the next few days going forward, We're not sure if it's going to break down or not, but we do have a red Omni for going into the markets on Sunday through Monday. One more chart I showed you in my last video, and then we'll move forward. Traders, I showed you this and called it the second chart masterpiece. We'll make a joke and call it chart master pie. Well, this is that very same chart and no damage done. Remember, the idea was it would dip into this black average and hold like it did here and here and here and here. Now, mind you, every one of these dips, the lunatics called the top. The top is in, the top is in. They called the top here. You know it, you've heard it. They called the top here. They called the top here. They called it again here. They went berserk when this happened. They called the top here. They called it here. And they're calling it right now. Doesn't that sound familiar? I say no way, unless somehow from the question mark, we end up not making this number 10 and it doesn't hold. I don't think that's the case because I believe in repetitive patterns. And this is one. I don't care what anyone thinks about that. That is a repetitive pattern and a solid average. Until this breaks, we are not calling any tops in anything. Do not listen to the nuts. Take this one day at a time. That takes care of analysis from last week. Let's move forward. So, you know, for Sunday through Monday, in the emini S&P, we've got a red Omni. We're going to be very nimble with the red trading, but we do have a red Omni going forward Sunday through Monday. Now let's look at a couple of other charts that you might find interesting. Traders, look at this bad boy. Does anyone find this gold chart familiar? Does this look familiar to you? It must, because I used it in countless videos to keep us on the short side of gold. Omni made an official call at 1680 in front of the world, topping call in gold. This was the spot. We have since come down. Then I showed you this chart in many videos, and I said, look at this wedge. Look at how it bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, did a little rally and a nosedive. Now, this is a weekly chart, so it takes very many weeks for these things to happen. Here we are now. We bounced here, we bounced here, we bounced here, and we're about to have our nosedive. What does that mean? See how we broke this yellow line finally? After we bounced for the third time, we broke the yellow line. See these red 3 arrows to represent what's going to happen, and then inside of this blue, that's this. The red arrows to the blue. This is what should come next. Why? Because look, we're just breaking the line. Watch this. Boom. Just like it did here. You broke the line. The blue's just representation. It means nothing. Then you drop. Boom, boom. So I put a rectangle, a blue rectangle around it. Here, same thing. See the 3 arrows? It represents the bounce after the third bounce. Boom. The third hit, then the bounce. Here's the third hit, then the bounce. Boom. Down we should go. I say we remain bearish in the gold until something else happens. The death knell has been put in ever since the gold weekly got under the 200 ball moving average right here at 1450, confirming the 1680 topping call. If you've been following these Omni trades, Omni has been killing the gold. Let's stay with these trades. I think we have 1 or 2 losing gold trades this year so far. Don't hold me to that stat, but that's what I can remember since we got into this gold trading this year. I'm not saying Omni doesn't have its losses, but in the gold trading only, we've been rocking and rolling. Let's look at more downside for gold. And then you see the Omni's been really killing in this euro currency. Let's go take a look at this. Euro currency, June now. Forget about March. We are in June in the euro currency. June daily bar. Look at this channel we've been in. Hits, 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 hits. Is it going to come down to the question mark? Sure, why not? This is the euro, opposite the dollar, in an F flag, on its way down. That's your flag. Here's your flagpole. Why shouldn't the euro just continue working its way down? I say it does. We will find out shortly. You'll just make this white so that it looks like the other part. And boom, there is your flagpole. Here is your F flag. We don't know how long it will last, but you're in one for now. And until you break out of it, you respect it. And likelihood is we will drop down and make it all the way to this question mark at some point. That is your euro analysis. There are also grains that look extremely interesting this week. Omni's looking at grains. Omni's looking at euro. Omni's looking at gold. And of course, above all others, Omni's eyes are fixated on what's going to happen in the Dow, the transportation average, the S&P, the NASDAQ. For now, slightly longer term analysis, you cannot call this market broken unless we break this pattern. And this pattern that I showed you, do not forget, unless we can somehow break this pattern, which has not broken yet, this should just turn out to be a number 10 hold, and we'll put the circle around it and move on our merry way. But there is a question mark for now because we never know if anything's going to hold until it does. With that in mind, it held all these other times. I say do not call the top until it calls itself. Traders, this is what I wanted to present you with. Please remember, take this one day at a time. Never accept anyone's analysis until you've done your own. I hope this video is helping to keep you in tune with what should be coming next in the next couple of days. Thank you so much for watching my videos. And always remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with keeping your emotions at bay is to say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Traders, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at livewithoscar.com.